Today, we're diving into something that is, and I'm not exaggerating, straight out of a horror movie. We're talking about one of the largest parasitic roundworms on the planet, Dioctophyma renale, better known by its much more terrifying name, the giant kidney worm. And just look at this. When we talk about parasites, most of us picture something microscopic, right? Well, forget that. This is a blood-red, full-on monster of a worm that can reach an absolutely unbelievable size, all while living inside its host.
And when I say unbelievable, I mean up to 100 centimeters. That is over 3 feet long. To put that in perspective, that's about the height of a toddler. Now try to imagine that living inside a single kidney. It's wild.
So, now that I have your terrified attention, here's how we're going to tackle this incredible organism in today's explainer. We'll start with its profile, walk through its life cycle, see where it lives, the damage it does, how we fight it, and what the future looks like. All right, let's start with the basics. To really get a handle on this thing, we've got to know what we're dealing with.
Okay, so first off, Dioctophyma renale is what's known as a metazoan endoparasite. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. Endoparasite just means it lives inside another creature. And metazoan, that's the important part. This is not a simple, single-celled organism. No way. This is a complex animal with its own organs and tissues. And here's where it fits on the tree of life. It's an animal, a type of roundworm or nematode. But what's really interesting is that it's in its own special family, the Dioctophyma. That just goes to show you how unique this massive parasite really is. Now for the truly wild part. For this worm to survive, it has to go on what is, seriously, an epic journey that involves a whole sequence of different hosts and environments. This chart does a great job of showing just how complex this relay race is. The parasite literally gets passed from one organism to another, from tiny creatures in the water all the way up to large mammals, just to complete its life cycle. Let's walk through it. It all kicks off when an infected animal, like a mink or a dog, urinates into fresh water, releasing the parasite's eggs. Those eggs get swallowed by a tiny aquatic worm. Then a fish or a frog comes along and eats that worm. The parasite is now just waiting inside that fish. Finally, a mammal eats the infected fish and the larvae are unleashed. They migrate to a kidney, and for some reason, it's almost always the right one. And that's where they begin to grow into the giants we saw earlier. So you might think something this bizarre would be pretty rare, maybe stuck in one remote corner of the world. But nope, this thing is a global traveler. It can be found pretty much anywhere its hosts and the right water sources exist. Now thankfully, human cases are pretty rare, but in the animal kingdom, it's a whole different story. China sees the most human infections, usually because of eating raw fish. In parts of South America, studies have found that almost half, up to 42%, of stray dogs near rivers are infected. And in North America, it's a very common parasite in its favorite host, the mink. And this global problem can easily become a local one. Get this, a human case was actually found in Rotterdam back in 2022. And the biggest threat there isn't from local animals, it's from people importing pets from places where the worm is common. Here's the really scary part. An infected dog can carry this worm for months or even years without showing any symptoms. It can pass a health screening with flying colors and bring this destructive passenger right across the board. So that's the crucial question, isn't it? What actually happens when this parasite successfully sets up shop inside a host's kidney? Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is just devastating. The worm doesn't just live in the kidney, it consumes it. It grows and grows, eating away all the functional tissue from the inside out, until there's nothing left but a hollowed-out shell of an organ. And the whole process is so insidious. Early on, the host might seem totally fine, no symptoms at all the while the kidney is slowly being destroyed. And the worm doesn't always play by the rules. Sometimes it gets lost, especially in an accidental host like a human, and ends up in the abdominal cavity, or even as a noticeable lump under the skin. You'd think with an outcome this horrifying, finding and fighting the worm would be easy. But it's a huge challenge, and it starts with just figuring out that it's even there. So the diagnosis is really tricky. The main way to check is to look for eggs in the urine, but that often doesn't work, especially in people, where the worms might not be producing eggs. A lot of times, the discovery is a complete accident during a surgery for something totally unrelated. As for treatment, well, antiparasitic drugs just don't work on something this big.
The only way to get rid of it is surgery.
And the surgical plan is pretty direct. First, the surgeon has to go in and actually locate the worm. Second, they have to carefully remove it. But by the time they've found it, the damage is usually so severe that the final step is often a nephrectomy, the complete removal of what's left of the kidney.
Okay, so after all that, how do we protect ourselves and our pets from something so destructive? Well, like with so many things in health, it all comes down to prevention. The good news is prevention is actually pretty straightforward. For us, rule number 1 is to cook all freshwater fish and frogs thoroughly. That kills the larvae. For our pets, we need much better screening when they're imported from high-risk areas. It's all part of a bigger concept called One Health, the idea that the health of people, animals, and the environment are all fundamentally linked. The story of the giant kidney worm is a pretty stark reminder, isn't it? It really makes you wonder, in our interconnected world, with everything and everyone on the move, what other ancient parasites are quietly on the move too, just waiting for the right opportunity? All the information we've covered in this explainer was compiled using a Gemini deep search. If you want to dive deeper into the research, you can find a complete list of our sources in the Notebook LM document that's linked right in the description below. Hey, if you enjoyed this explainer, please hit that subscribe button for more just like it. And we'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to leave some feedback for us in the comments. Thanks for watching.